Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Got another great one for you guys today, as usual. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about the facts on this channel, guys. And we try to put things into perspective, right? And we try to put some respect on, the NBA in general, man. That's what's about on this channel, man. Just putting some respect on some of the past generations. And, we're tired of the narratives. We're tired of the lies. We're tired of them having to tear down past eras in order to lift this era up. And in this video, I want to speak about an article I saw on ESPN the other day, on ESPN.com. The thumbnail of the article, that's the picture. The thumbnail of this video is the article. And it talked about Nikola Jokic, and it called him the greatest passer in NBA's history. We're going to talk about it in this video, guys. And I want to thank you guys for all your love, man, for subscribing to my channel, for your comments, for everything, guys. It means a lot to me, man. We must continue to spread the word. We must continue to educate, right? That's what's about in this channel. So I want to thank everybody out there, everybody across the world, everybody across the states. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, I want to talk about Nikola Jokic in this video. This is not a tear down Nikola Jokic video at all. This is not to disrespect him or anything like that. This is a focus on this article and what I'm always talking to you guys about, right? And that we understand this. I know what it is. It's this, like, for some reason, when they talk about players of this era, they must always say that they're the greatest of. And every aspect of NBA, right? I did that video the other day talking about this stuff, right? How everybody today thinks they're the greatest at this, the greatest at that of all time. There's no humility left in the game. These guys are not humble. And I talked about how the media promotes some of these players, right? And I mentioned Nikola Jokic and that I do not have a problem with him or how he carries himself, the way he approaches the game. None of that. I got mad respect for him and the way he approaches the game. He's old school. But what I talked about was how they promote him sometimes and the things that they say. And in this article on ESPN, I don't know who wrote it. It's not important, the person, It's about what was said in the article, right? And the title of the article. It said something to the effect of how Nikola Jokic became the great passer in NBA history. And the reason why it caught my eye is because I wanted to see if they were talking about him being the greatest big man passer in NBA's history, because that's closer to reality than him being the greatest passer in NBA's history. So I read the article. Now, I did not read the entire article. It was pretty lengthy. However, I did skim through it, and I looked through the article, and towards the end of the article, they were interviewing a GM from one of the NBA teams. I don't remember his name. And he said that in his opinion, Nikola Jokic is the greatest passer in NBA's history, regardless of position. And he said it's not even close. Now, this is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever they promote these guys, they are the greatest of all time. For this person to say, in their opinion, that Nikola Jokic is the greatest passer in NBA's history, and it's not even a debate, it's not even a question, that is not true. That is closer to a lie than it is to an actual opinion that's based off of the facts and actual reality of the NBA's history. And let's think about this for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Nikola Jokic is a sensational passer, outstanding passer. However, we must think about these things. And when someone says that he's the greatest passer in NBA's history, regardless of position, that's where they lose me. And that's why I begin to say this is a lie, not an opinion, and it's nothing really factual to back that statement up. Now, when we think about big men in NBA's history, have there been great passers in NBA's history out of that center position, or big men in general? Yes, there have been several great passers or really good passers in NBA's history, out of that center or power forward position, let's say, we all know that Will Chamberlain, or let's not forget that Will Chamberlain actually led the NBA in assists in a season. Nikola Jokic has never done that. Not saying that he could not do that, but he has never done that. Yes, he did lead a playoff run in assists. That was very impressive. But he's never led a league, right, for an entire season in assists per game. Will Chamberlain has done that, right? So we can say that Will Chamberlain was a solid passer. I'm not saying that he's a better passer than Nikola Jokic, but we can say that he was a solid passer, right? Bill Russell is known for being an outstanding passer out of the high post. The Boston Celtics would often run plays through Bill Russell, right? And he was magnificent at finding the open man. Now, when we think about big men and passing and assists, right? A lot of times people will point to the assists to highlight someone's passing prowess. We must think about back in the day how assists were counted, right? And assists were not always counted the same. As a matter of fact, back in the days, in the 50s, in the 60s, the early part of the NBA's history, assists were not counted the same way. So, for example, if you had the ball down low and you were to kick it out to a shooter and they were to make a shot, right? You're passing away from the basket. That would not be counted as an assist back in the day. Your pass had to go towards the rim for it to be counted as an assist. It's pretty interesting, right, guys? Also, when we think about assists, over the years, assists have become a little bit more lax, right? We can all understand these things, right? Back in the day, you literally had to make a pass and the person had to immediately score, right? Or have an opportunity to score for that to be counted as an assist. Now, sometimes these guys will make a pass. A guy will actually dribble the ball, make a move, and they'll still get credit for an assist. So we can clearly see that counting numbers, the assists, right, are not counted the same for some of these guys in this era as it was in past eras. So we can't just look at numbers as pointing to people being great passers, right, or big men that were great passers in NBA's history. Just in the 90s alone, I remember several big men that were pretty good passers. Guys like Chris Webber. I remember him being a pretty solid passer out of the post. Guys like Vlade Divac. Guys like Arvydas Sabonis. Guys like Detlef Schrempf, who's actually averaged over 6 assists a game in a season out of that power forward position, right? Detlef Schrempf, the 6'10", right? Multifaceted player, 6-man award winner. But these are some of the guys that I remember from that era. We can even think about a Toni Kukoc, right? Out of that power forward position, about 6'10", right? They used to call him the waiter, the Croatian sensation, because he had a knack for delivering and dropping off dimes. So there have been players out of that power forward or that center position that have been known for their passing abilities, guys who have averaged 3 or 4 assists in their careers from that position. Guys like Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain, guys like Chris Webber, guys like Vlade Divac, Detlef Schrempf, Toni Kukoc, Arvydas Sabonis. Some of these guys had a knack for creativeness in their passing abilities. And once again, when we talk about Nikola Jokic and this person saying that they believe that the greatest passer in NBA's history, and they talk about all positions, like I said, this is where I believe they're being disingenuous and they're living in the moment and they're not giving respect to the NBA's history, because I'm not putting Nikola Jokic over some of the great point guard passers in NBA's history, right? Guys who are known for their passing prowess, guys who are dropping off 8, 9, 10, 11 assists a game, 12 assists a game in a season, leading the league in assists for several seasons, right? Guys like Magic Johnson. Are we really supposed to believe that Nikola Jokic is a greater passer than Magic Johnson? I mean, once again, Nikola Jokic is sensational. He's a great passer. But we must put things into perspective and have context. He's a great passer for his position. But when we speak about passing and the great passers in the history of the league, there's no way we can say that he's the greatest passer in the NBA's history and then the person to say that it's not even a debate, it's not even close. This is my problem. And this is what I was highlighting in that other video. Why must everyone be the greatest of all time? Why can't they just be great? Nikola Jokic is a great passer. Why must they say, oh, he's the greatest of all time? And the article, you title the article, How Nikola Jokic Became the Greatest Passer in NBA's History? Come on, man. Let me know when Nikola Jokic leads the league in assists for several seasons. And then what will people say? Well, he's a center, so how can he do that? Exactly. That's why we must put things into context. Nikola Jokic, listen, if you want to say that you believe he's the greatest big man passer in the history of the league, we can make an argument. We can have a debate about that. Like I said, Will Chamberlain led the league in assists in a season. He led a playoff run in assists before. Bill Russell was known for his passing out of the high post. Like I said, the Celtics would run plays through Bill Russell. There have been many great passers that were big men. So we can have that debate. Yes, I think you can say that maybe he is the greatest passing big man. But once again, for that person to say, or for people to think that that makes him the greatest passer, regardless of position, is crazy to me. Is he a greater passer than John Stockton? Or Isaiah Thomas, or Oscar Robertson, or Jason Kidd, or a Steve Nash, a Mark Jackson, a Bob Cousy? He's greater than all those guys? It's not even a debate. You see what I'm saying? That's not right, man. That's disrespect when you say that and say it's not a debate. It's not even a question. When this man doesn't have any assist titles, he doesn't have the flair, the flash of some of those guys I mentioned. Those guys ran offenses. They were floor generals. They're point guards. Once again, we're not giving respect to the guys who came before, the guys who played the game, who played that position a certain way. Yes, Nikola Jokic is a great passer for his position. Right? He's getting those triple doubles, no doubt about it. But once again, we must remember the era that he's playing in. Right, as I said, assist numbers are counted differently now. This is not shortchanging him. He's sensational. But we must remember these things. So the numbers are inflated, right, when they point to the triple doubles and things of that nature. We must keep these things in mind. Right, Nikola Jokic is not necessarily going against the greatest centers of all time in this era. Once again, that takes away nothing from him. He is dominant. I'm not saying he would not be able to play in another era. What I'm saying is the competition that he has to go against is not there right now. The style of NBA is not there. So he's able to dish the ball around to these shooters and pick up these assist numbers. And once again, I do believe he is a wizard with the basketball. Like I said, there's been many European players in the history that were considered big men that can drop dimes. Like I mentioned, guys like Tony Kukoc, guys like Arvydas Sabonis, guys like Detlef Schrempf, right? Guys like Vlade Divac. These guys were known for their wizardry, passing the basketball, making plays. Nikola Jokic is in that ilk, man, and he's great. But when we say he's the greatest of all time, regardless of position, that's craziness, man. That's craziness. I'm not with that, man. And these are the kinds of things that we're talking about, these articles that come out. When you title these articles, how he became the greatest passer in NBA's history, why couldn't they put how he became one of the great passers in NBA's history? That's just as respectable. And that's not disrespecting anybody, because once again, that's not true. That's much more opinion than it is closer to the facts. When you say, just in history in general, if you say how he became the greatest big man passer in NBA's history, okay. We could argue that, definitely. But I'm not putting him above those great point guards. Those guys who were legit, leading the NBA every year in assists, dropping dimes, right? Running the fast breaks. I mean, I can't put him above those guys. That was their job. You know, that would be like me saying that, you know, because a point guard is such a great rebounder, right? Someone like a Jason Kidd or even a Russell Westbrook to a lesser degree, these guys are great rebounds at that guard position, that I would say, yo, they're the greatest rebounders in NBA's history because of what they're doing at their position, right? That doesn't make any sense. You guys know the deal, man. Once again, man, shout out to Nikola Jokic, man. One of the greats, man, on his way. I mean, the man is just in the beginning, just scratching the surface of his greatness. This video was never about him. It's about how these guys talk about these players in these articles and how someone can say, you know, definitively, he's the greatest passer of all time. I'm not buying that, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one.